Go ahead, Steve.
Orthographic mapping. Orthographic mapping is a way of taking your knowledge of phonemic awareness and segmenting and blending and putting it together for sight words. We used to think sight words were remembered as a whole, as one thing. We now know that really sight words are move into the word form area first initially by phonetic purposes. You see the sounds and then you notice what's different in the word. This is what our good readers will do. They'll just notice, hey, that has an AU, it shouldn't. Hey, I notice ing is spelled by ing all the time. So what we're doing is taking what we know about how sight words are developing and putting it into a program. This is through Kilpatrick's work in the Reading League. Okay, so the sight word I'm going to introduce is laugh. I don't show it to you. I simply say laugh. All right, everybody. Let's finger tap it, or we can arm tap it. I'll do it both ways. Ready? Laugh. Oh, with me. Oh, ah. Or we can go oh, ah. It's up to you. Okay, great. How many sounds is that? Oh, ah. Christian, how many are you here? Good. All right. So we have blocks down here. I'm just going to use these cards. Got it? You see the cards?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so we're going to push a card for each of these sounds. Are you ready? With me. What's the first one? Oh. Everyone the next? Ah. Everyone the next? Laugh. Good. Now, pretend I have a magnetic board over here to my left. Okay. How should O be spelled? And they'll point to the L. How should A be spelled? They'll point to the A. How should F be spelled? Point to the F. If they know their letter names, I don't teach letter names in the kindergarten, but in regular, once kids can read, they're like a start 3. Well, they'll know their letter names. They can just say it's spelled, should be spelled with an L-A-F. But initially, we'll point to the sound on the board, O-F, if they don't know the names, which, by the way, is I very strongly push for beginning readers to focus on the sounds. Right, so it should be O-F. Now let's look at the word. So I'll show the word. Can you guys see it? Is it right side up for you? Good. All right, so laugh. Laugh, ready? Oh, that's spelled like it should. What's wrong here? Ah. Christian, what's going on there?
It's an AU.
Yeah, it should be just an A, right? It's an A.
Right.
If they only know the sounds, I'd say it's an A. If they know letter names, I'll say, well, there's a U there. Shouldn't be. It should just be an A. And what about this, Christian? What's going on with that?
Go.
Yeah, that's weird. So this is what we got to remember. The O's okay, but the A and F's not. So I want you to get a picture of this in your mind. Got it? All right. I want you to now write it in the box. Okay, so, and I know I had a pen a second ago. And the child will go, O, A. Good job. All right, let's check to see how you did. I'll then show them the word, laugh, and they'll check. They'll correct anything they didn't do. Okay. I might have them write it again. And then that's it. Next day, I might review that again, the same procedure. And then we just read it. So what they're realizing is sight words actually are phonetic. They just don't play fair. They have, and they got to remember the areas that don't play fair. All right. I'm going to run by that one more time quickly. Same word. Okay. All right, so I start my new reading. I don't say it. I simply say we're going to learn the word laugh today. What's the word? Laugh. Good.
Laugh.
All right, let's tap it with our fingers. O, A. Great. How many sounds is that? O, A. 3. Or top of the arm, bottom, ul, af, 3, either way. Good, it has 3 sounds. I want you to move your chips with me and say the sound as you move it. Ul, af, laugh. Great. Now, you guys are in 3rd grade and know the letter names. How should ul be spelled? Well, it should be spelled with an L. How should a be spelled? With an A. How should f be spelled? With a double F, right? But if they don't know their names, if they're at their sounds, how should ul be spelled? They're going to point to the board. Well, that ul, a should be an a, should be, just depends where they are. Okay, right. Now let me show you the word and let's see how it's spelled and how it's written. Laugh. Notice the O plays fair, right? Uh-oh, these don't play fair. What's wrong? Well, we got an a and an up. Doesn't play fair. This doesn't play fair. We got a g and a h. Okay, so these don't play fair. I want you to notice that they don't play fair. Laugh. Now, do you all have a picture of it in your mind? I want you to have a picture. Good, now write it. Ul, ah. Good, now check. Ul, ah. Great, you guys all got it correctly. Let's write it again below. Ul, ah, or cover it, write it below. We can do what we want there. And then it's now included in your review words. So we quickly introduced, that took about a minute, a couple minutes, a minute or two, the new word. And now it's included on the list. So the next day, I might have 10 words on the list and I'll time them. Let's go. To, of, the, here, where, then, they, should. Good, great. 10 seconds. Let's beat your time. And that's all I do. I just time them twice. Okay. Then when I get a new word or a couple new words, I add it. I do that quickly before we read. Does that make sense, Laura?
Yes, it makes sense. I'll try it. The thing is, I want to ask you a quick, I know this sounds silly. When you said, and I always get confused, you said LA, that's a double F. How would they know it's a double F instead of one F?
It's a hungry roll word. So short F, okay. Would take the bigger piece.
Okay.
Now, it would take a smart kid to remember that, but they do. I'll have a kid say, wow, it's a hungry vowel, bigger piece, short vowel.
Okay.
Good. All right. Good.
Oh, also, how are they getting those squares? You have to have them prepare it before you know what I mean, with the online.
Yeah, well, it's tricky online. I mean, they can use anything. I often use money, pennies or quarters or dimes, so they can get pennies from their parents.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even need the boxes. I mean, they should, but even if they just have paper and they move the coins for each and then write the word letter below the coins, that's fine.
Okay. So you have to tell them to repair to have that first. That's what I'm
well,
saying.
they need a piece of paper and some coins and a pen.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And believe me, I know what a nightmare it is to change things with kids. Believe me. So yeah, go slowly into it. Once you get the kids back, my kids are coming back in a couple weeks. All this is going to be so much easier, But anyway, the way I just did it could work with the Zoom. So you want to set, the kids will need to tell you when they can see the boxes. What I did is put my Coke can and lowered it to where the top of the L was where you guys said you can see it. And then I went back. So I know after I do the beginning, I can go right to that spot, Okay, great. Bizarre.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, well, try it. You need to try it by yourself first a couple times, just to go through it. And we now have this on video. I think this is pretty clean. So, and Steve will put it somewhere that you can review.
Okay.
Okay.
Steve?
Yeah.
Hi, it's Lara. I didn't quite understand the very end of what you said, which is then the next day you cycle through the word a whole bunch. Is that with spelling? Is that auditory or is that writing, reading?
These, what I took these sight words from is the 150 sight words crucial for reading, but a lot of them are phonetic. So I took the real sight words. Actually, these are great sight words for both reading and spelling. But I then organized them in terms of kindergarten, first, second grade, and then 3rd through 6th, the sight words.
So the orthographic mapping of the sight words should work with spelling, and it also should work with the reading.
But initially, we just want them to read, you know, that's the key. Because that's what's the crux of the matter is getting them to read that. Okay, so yeah, it's again, we want to keep that short and sweet. And then, so we now have, we added that day. Again, you might do it really quickly. Again, the same thing with the word, or if they pick it up quick, you can add it right to the list that they say the next day. To, into, of, the, are, for. 8 seconds, beat it. To, for, into, the, there, sure, war. Good. 6 seconds, and then you move on. Just quick review those sight words.
And we're going to be getting that list from you. And we already have a list, but it's not the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, this is all this is the 150 sight words you got. I took out the real sight words.
Right.
I mean, the ones that don't play fair.
Right.
I mean, because make, okay, yeah, you need to know that, but that's a silent E. Do we want to memorize that as a sight word? I don't think we waste our time with that.
Steve, I have a quick question about, Laura mentioned that, like, for example, in the word laugh, why did they use the double F? And you told them, you explained, oh, hungry rule, you know, short A, you know, takes a bigger piece. So do you use the terminology short and long vowels with kids?
Well, I do, especially because of the hungry rule, because the whole root of the hungry rule is a short vowel wants a bigger piece. And so I use that terms. I use the language of the program constantly. For instance, when I'm reading words before a book, I'll point out and say, what rule is that? And they'll say hungry. That's why it's a DGE. What rule is that? That's the bully rule. I do that all the time. Anytime I run into the word, what rule is it? That's how things stick. They'll go in one ear and out the other if you don't do that.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you use the terminology short, long versus closed, open versus.
Well, what it is a closed syllable has a short vowel. So the two go hand in hand. Closed syllable, like
right.
PAT, where the vowels close in, will be short because it can run a short way, is how I put it. Whereas an open syllable is opened up and it can run a long way if it was an erase. And so it says it's long sound of O, row. Okay.
Got it.
All right. Good question. Other questions?
What is the bully rule?